Here, it's Laura Rorick again, and I'm kind of multitasking by doing this in the sauna with my phone, which will probably go off with heat overload in a couple minutes. But I thought I'd better put on some sort of explanation of who I am for people who might come across this channel who don't know me. So for those who know me, you don't have to listen to this, but I'm trying to do this in some sort of order, and before I post too many more videos, I better do this. Anyway, I am Laura Rorick. I am a foot care nurse. I live in Northern California. I started my independent practice back in 1996 after working as the diabetic foot nurse at Kaiser Richmond. And at that time, there really was no foot care nurses in the United States. There was one nurse, Gudrun Noonan, in Florida, who had been trained in Europe, and she had a little practice in a hospital. But other than that, we were the only two that I know of that had an actual independent practice and were not working under doctors or anything else. We just were foot care nurses doing foot care, toenail debridement, corns, calluses, that sort of thing. However, there were some foot nurses back east, and Jane Kelly is an amazing woman. She really is the pioneer of this. She had a website called The Countryside Nurse. She was doing some home care, but she didn't have an office that I know of. And then, of course, there's Dr. Teresa Kellichai, my mentor, friend, bestie, adventurer, companion, who I took my first foot care course from. So what I'm probably best known for is my use of the high-speed electric podiatry file, whatever you want to call it, file, drill, blah, 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 and my use of different sizes, coarsenesses, styles, materials of burrs or bits, whatever you want to call those. So I'm more of kind of a foot artist, or that's what I've become. Before me, the only instruments that foot nurses were using, and there were tons of foot nurses in Canada. That's where I got the idea to do this, but all of them were using a Dremel and a sandpaper bit or a diamond bit. None of them were using the high-speed drills. And so I brought that technology basically to North America, and also sterilization. They were only doing disinfectant or sanitization, or anyway, they weren't doing sterilization with autoclave. So I brought that to the forefront. I also opened up the market for the high-speed drills to be imported from Germany to Thomas Machinery, or I think they called it Rotatool back then, and I was a nurse educator with them for a while, and I taught in Canada at some of their seminars until they kind of took all my material and they just started teaching it, and that was really weird. Anyway, then I kind of got into the international field. I started going to Dr. Armstrong, David Armstrong, the most wonderful person in the world as far as diabetic foot and amputation prevention goes. I started going to his conferences and realized there was no nurses involved in preventive diabetic foot care. So I went to a lot of those. I started going to different countries, and I've just had a very vast experience. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll put like my curriculum vitae or a link to it. I always say, or when I had my channel before, that I would put links down below, but I can never figure out how to do it. So as far as the YouTube channel goes, I'm going to start posting things. Again, I am trying to now focus on teaching lay people how to not be afraid of a diabetic foot and to take care of them in these times of pandemics, and God knows what is going to happen with our medical system in the United States or worldwide. People need to know how to take care of their own feet, their family's feet, volunteers, etc. There is nothing legally that you have to do to buy a high-speed drill, but you need to know how to use it properly, and that's what I'm hoping to do over time on this YouTube channel, starting out by myself, very grassroots, not knowing what I am doing, trying to remember what I did, how to even upload a video. But there is some new artificial intelligence out there that I am using to help me in this venture, and that's going to make it feasible until I can maybe get some other people on board to help me. But I think that's all I need to say right now, and the phone is probably going to explode any minute. Thanks. Happy New Year. It's January 1st. Okay, any last thoughts? Oh, one thing really interesting is I found out podiatrists are not taught the drill in podiatry school. They started getting some training in Canada in 2011, but I had always assumed that podiatrists knew how to use this stuff. And, oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to say. I went back out and checked. There are some podiatrists showing foot care out on the internet and various channels and getting millions of hits and blah, blah, blah. And oh my God, they really, I hate to say this, but most of them really don't know what they're doing. And it really kind of scares me. So I think I need to at least show you what I can do, because I think I'm pretty good at it and I want to share that. All right, that's it. Bye.